Let's make our axolotl pipe squeak. If this is your first time creating with us, we want to share a few tips to make this experience a great one. If you haven't yet, visit our techniques videos linked in the description below. For all you first-timers, we sent you some pipe cleaners in your kit specifically to practice with these videos and learn common techniques that will make your piece even better. Regardless of how many times you've done this, you have some extra pipe cleaners in your kit in case you make a mistake. That's completely normal and we've planned for it. The more time and attention you give to your piece, the better it will turn out. So take all the time you need, follow the steps, and above all, have fun learning and advancing in this new art form. Happy twisting! Grab your kit, a pair of scissors, and a pencil for later, and let's get twisting. Start by sizing a full pipe cleaner to the body shape on the template that came with your kit. You can pull the pipe cleaner through your fingers like you're curling a ribbon to get a curved shape to start. See our technique videos linked in the description below for more on this. Mold around the shape, gently bending as you need to and holding down areas as you go. When you think it looks right, gently twist together the ends once to secure lightly. Then recheck your size on the template. Once you like it, lock it in by fully twisting those ends gently together. You will need 2 of these body frames, so repeat this again, shaping to the one you just made this time for symmetry. Double check your size again with the first after securing, and now you have 2 identical body frames. We need to make some braces to strengthen our frames. Grab one of the frames and a full pink pipe cleaner to start. Line it up vertically in the center of the frame. Leave a small amount hanging over on top and the same on bottom, then trim the piece to that size. Line it back up in the center and gently fold over the excess on top and lightly wrap around to secure. Repeat with the bottom. Be sure, as with everything you will be doing on this piece, that you're being very gentle with your pressure. Never squeeze or yank on the pipe cleaner. Use the leftover from what you just cut to make a second brace horizontally. Lay it across the bottom third of the piece and measure across. Leave slightly more extra on both ends this time, as you'll be wrapping over and around the vertical brace when you pass it. Connect gently over the side as before and wrap over and around the vertical brace as you get to it. Keep the brace you're making in a straight line as you go, then connect to the opposite side. Use the rest of what you cut to repeat this brace on the upper third of the piece. If it won't reach, simply use a full pipe cleaner and measure off what you need as before. Be sure you didn't lose your shape by comparing it to the template. Now repeat this whole process of the 3 braces for the second body frame in the same way. Compare the 2 frames together to ensure they are symmetrical, and we can move on. Now we're going to fill in these body frames with a wrap technique. See the link to the videos below for more on this. Tie on by hooking over and around the top of the frame, just to the left of the center vertical brace as shown. Then, work the pipe cleaner to the other side of that vertical brace and bend over the top of the frame to the back of the piece. Now, turn the piece over and bring the pipe cleaner back across. Wrap over the edge of the frame, turn the piece, and lightly pinch in place inside that frame. Continue this process of wrapping by bending around the edge, turning the piece, and pinching in place all the way down to fill it in. Be sure you have very gentle pressure. Don't pull, but bend and turn, keeping your fill lines close together as you go. When you reach the end of a pipe cleaner, extend it by twisting a new one on. You can see more on this in the technique videos linked in the description below. Then continue bending, turning, and pinching gently all the way down. As a tip, if you ever need to extend a pipe cleaner, but that connection will wrap over the edge, be sure to cut back the working pipe cleaner to prevent this. Then extend and continue wrapping. If you try to wrap a thick connection around the edge of the frame, you'll risk losing your shape. When you have this piece filled, wrap over and around the edge of the frame to secure. Then wrap around the bottom frame piece all the way back across to the opposite side to fully secure in the wrap as shown. When you have it finished, trim the extra and secure in the piece on the bottom. Now you have one frame filled. Time to repeat this process for the second body frame you made. Here's that point where you might need to trim the pipe cleaner before extending. Now you have 2 frames filled and we are ready to make some features. Let's grab a white pipe cleaner to make the tummy. Begin by shaping the piece to the tummy on your template as shown. When you have the right size and shape, twist one of the ends over the top center to secure. Then you will point this piece down vertically in the center to create the first brace. Before securing the brace to the bottom frame, double check your shape and size to the template to ensure you still like it. Once you like it, bend that brace over and around the bottom frame part to secure. Trim and secure the other extra piece on the top. Grab a full white pipe cleaner and fill it in. You will be weaving to fill this piece. You can see a link to that video in the description below for more. Tie on over the top to the left of the vertical brace as before. But this time, when you reach the other side of the brace, wrap over and around the frame, bringing the pipe cleaner back to the front. Now continue back to the other side that you started on and weave over and around and through again on the frame edge. Notice as you go over the edge of the frame, you are bending over, not looping like in sewing. So bend over the frame and go around and through the middle. Continue to the other side and repeat. You will be keeping the pipe cleaner in front of that center brace you made all the way down. Extend in the same way as you have been. Once you have the fill complete, wrap over and around the outside of the frame to lock it in. Then, wrap around that center brace, leaving the extra pointing backward, then trim to about 1 inch to leave a connection for later. Use the extra to make another connection, push through the center, and twist around on the ends to secure in this connection. Trim it to the same size as the first one on the bottom. Repeat this connection process 2 more times. You will end up with 1 connection on top, 1 on bottom, and 1 on each side of the tummy, for 4 connections total. Now you have 4 connections to secure to a body later. Now let's make the gills, the little pink wavy pieces on your template. Begin with a full pink pipe cleaner. Go a few inches from the end and bend as shown, shaping to the top curve of the gill on the template. Continue shaping up and down to make each of the gill waves you see, 3 in total. You will simply bend, finding the shape, and fold back down to double it up. When you have the right size for each piece, smash and flatten them together so there are no gaps seen and smooth it all out. Bend the longer end out as a connection like the first and then trim it to the size of the first one that is sticking out from the top. Check the shape and size once more for this gill set and then repeat this process again for the second set of gills. Check that size once more on the template and now you have 2 sets of gills ready to connect. We will make the hands with the leftover you trimmed off when making those gills. Start by bending one of those extra pieces in half and shape to the hand on the template. Once you have the right length of the curve, bend out the top extra as shown to get the hand formed. Do the same process with the other cut extra you have. Once you like the size of each and have checked them together, move them to the side for now and we will finish those later. For this next part, you need to clear your working space of any pieces and place down a scrap piece of paper or cardboard. You will be shaving the fuzz off half of a black pipe cleaner and you don't want that fuzz sticking to your piece. Very carefully trim the fuzz off all the sides of the wire as shown. You only need about half a pipe cleaner trimmed. Be sure to keep the scissors away from your hands and focus as you do this. Get as much fuzz off as you can. When you have it trimmed, cut the length of trimmed wire and set it aside. Now let's shave half of a white pipe cleaner as well. We will use this to make sparkles for his eyes later. Now let's use the black wire we shaved to make the mouth. Start by bending it in the middle. Pinch that bend into a nice point, still keeping a V shape. Make a slight curve on one side of the point. Make another curve on the other side of the point to match the first as best you can. Compare it to the mouth on the template. Play with the roundness of those U-curves as you go. Note that the wire is a little more delicate to work with, so adjust your pressure accordingly and take your time. When you find the shape, create a bend where you want the mouth to stop on each side by bending back the extra where it ends on the template as shown. Shape some more until it looks right. Don't worry, you can always adjust later, so don't get stuck here. Now you have the mouth ready to attach. Let's make the eyes by cutting a full black pipe cleaner in half to start. Bend a hook on the end of one of the halves and tightly spiral around that hook a few times. Compare the circle to the eye on the template to determine the size. When the size is right, work the long extra down the back of the eye to the middle and make a nail shape, having it stick out the back to connect with later. Shape and mold the eye to make the right circle for you. Then trim most of the extra off as shown, leaving a small amount to connect with later. Make a second eye with the extra you just cut off, comparing it to your first for symmetry this time. Now you have both black parts of the eyes complete. Grab that shaved white wire from earlier and cut it in half. On the end of one of the cut pieces, bend a small knob or hook as shown. Make that knob or hook point out at a right angle at the end of the wire. Do this again with the other cut wire you have. Compare the two together for symmetry. Now you have two sparkles ready to add to the black eyes. Now let's connect the eye pieces together. Grab one of the black eyes and a wire sparkle and push the long end through the top corner of the black eye as shown. Pull it through until the knob you made is the only thing you see on the black eye. Twist and position it how you want. When you like it, trim off some of the extra white wire, leaving some to connect around the black. Twist the black and white together in the back to secure them in. Now that you have one eye finished, repeat this with the second set of eye pieces. Make sure the white sparkle points in the same direction as the first, and it will also be in the same spot in the upper right-hand corner of the eye. When you are happy with your eyes and they match, we can continue. Let's put it together now. Choose one of the filled body frames to be the front, the piece you'll be placing all your features on. Start by grabbing the white tummy and lining it up to the base of the body frame. Push each of those connections through the fill to the back so they are sticking out behind. Work with the placement and adjust as needed until it looks right for you. Once you like the placement, flip the piece over and twist around each end to secure it on the back as shown. Shape and mold to what looks good to you. Now let's connect the eyes. Start by pushing one through where you think it should go, being sure that sparkle is in the upper right-hand area of the eye. Play with the placement a bit, and when you like it, twist to secure down in the back. Repeat this with the other eye, placing it through the same fill space on the other side, checking to be sure they are symmetrical and the sparkle is going the same direction before twisting it in the back to secure as well. Now grab the black wire mouth you made and we will connect it next. A good place to start is right inside of each eye at the bottom edge. Push those connections through and check it. Move the placement, size of the bend, and anything else you need in order to make it look right for your axolotl. When you like the placement, shape, and size, secure those connections down in the back and we are ready to add gills and hands next. Let's figure out where those gills will go by placing them inside the two body pieces as shown. Lay the back on the full axolotl on your template and then line up the gills to match the placement. Cover with the front and move the gills as needed to get them in the right place. When you like the placement, carefully remove the front, leaving the gills in place on the back body frame by keeping your fingers on top of the connections where they overlap each other. Carefully pick up those connections and twist them together to secure in that spacing. When they are connected together, lay them back down and place the front back on to check again. When you like it, find where the connections overlap a fill line on the body frame and gently pull it up so you can push that connection under it and bend over to secure in place. Now, connect each of the other two pieces by pulling up a fill line, pushing them through, and bending over to secure. Once secure, replace the front and check placement again. When you like it, grab a hand and we'll connect that next. Line up one hand just a line or two below the gill on each side. Then pull up more fill lines to secure around. Do this for both hands, checking with the front as much as needed to get that placement right. Check again with the front on to be sure you're happy with the placement of both gills and hands. Now it's time to connect the front and back together. Pick up your piece and poke through each fill at the top to make a starter hole as shown for the pipe cleaner to go through. Push a full pink pipe cleaner through that hole and twist around the piece to secure it on. Now, poke another starter hole next to your threading pipe cleaner and stitch from back to front again through that hole. Pull tightly on the stitch to secure. Continue this process a couple more times to finish the top of the head. When you reach the gills, trim and secure the end inside the piece. Then tie on again below the gills and above the hand. We will make just one anchor point here and trim and secure again. Now tie on again and secure in the threading pipe cleaner. Then stitch it all the way to the tummy. When you reach the tummy, sew across the bottom under it, don't go through it. Secure and hide the end as you come to it and tie on with a new pink pipe cleaner. Don't extend your current one. When you complete the bottom section, now is the time to add an air tag or a magnet inside your piece if you want to. Then you can continue stitching it together. When you want to take it out, simply snip a couple stitches and remove the piece as desired. Stitch to the hand, then trim and secure. You will have one more stitch between the hand and the gills, like you did on the other side. Trim that extra on the anchor stitch and you're finished. Great work, and thanks for creating with us. Show us what you made and tell us how you're using it by following and tagging us on Instagram @AscendArtCo. Let us know how it went and subscribe to this channel for more tutorials and fun creations. And until next time, happy twisting!